Hey everybody, Wowman here at Weir's Garage. I'm just gonna show you kind of a time-lapse video here of how I closed in the cavern area that we've been looking at. The first thing I do is I put a roof on the cave, and I do that by using the flatten to surface tool. I find a level area above the top of the cage and just start dragging the terrain over. I've found that flatten to surface works very well for putting a roof on a cave type environment. As you can see, this is what it looks like on the inside. The next thing I do is I start pulling down some little nipple type looking things. They're really like the base of stalactites that I'll be adding a little bit later. And I'm just randomly pulling them down so that it's like a random variety. I did have the light tool on so that you could see the terrain a little bit easier, and I just turned that light terrain or the light option off. The camera light is what I was looking for, because now I'm going to be adding the actual in-game lighting. I use the colorable area light. That seems to be one of my favorite lights to use. I use like an amber setting for more of a natural look. As you can see here, I usually place them and sink them into the terrain or into buildings if I'm doing a building. And the deeper you sink them, the more the light source spreads out and you get less shadowing. So that's just typically how I like to do it. The next thing I'm going to do here, so what I did is first of all, I added the lighting so that you could see the terrain extensions, but not so that I'm lighting them fully. I like to place the lights random enough that it makes shadows and gives dimension to the interior terrain. Now I'm just adding some of the stalactite game pieces, sinking them into those little extensions that I dropped down a few minutes ago. I'm not real worried about how good the transition between the terrain and the scenery pieces look in this particular application. And the reason is because this is, remember, a roller coaster. The roller coaster is going to be flying by. You could look at it now and say, oh, that doesn't look perfect, but think about it as if you were on a roller coaster, even in a real amusement park. A lot of those details are kind of just hidden in the dark, hidden in the shadows. You're only seeing them for a split second as you go whizzing by in the coaster trains. So I'm not real concerned about making them perfect. You can see I'm gonna fix them up a little bit, only from the side that you see from the coaster, not from the opposite side. And that's pretty much all I do as far as the detail goes. I'm going to add some other workshop type cave pieces here, either some stalagmites, some things like that. So I'm just randomly picking some pieces here. I'm building a little tower to go all the way from floor to ceiling. Again, you're going to whiz by it in a coaster, so I'm not real concerned about the details, but I'll fix the lighting up a little bit on these, as you'll probably see in a minute as well. Once I feel I've added enough detail, I might add a few more lights. As you can see here, I'm putting in the floodlight, just to light up the entire area a little bit more on a broad spectrum. And then once I'm done, I'll just kind of spin around and look at a couple angles here and make sure I like what I see, and I'll be done. That's all I got for today.